So anyway, we starting another video. Wow, I didn't think I was going for three. We're going for three today. Continuation of the Ford F-150 rebuild, cheap Facebook Marketplace engine rebuild. That was unexpected. Anyway, pulled the main caps off, and finally found some significant scratches in the crankshaft, and went, whoa, okay, here's our problem here. One of the journals looked like a record, like for a record player. Yeah, you could get your fingernail on it. It was just like, wow, that's something ran through that one. So we said, well, we're gonna throw us a cheap set of undersized bearings on here and slap her back together. Yep, we did that, and I can't believe I felt so just, oh, every bit of me, and I'm sure my brother was cringing too. We just did it. It was a junkyard rebuild with undersized. There were 2000s undersized bearings. We stuck it all back together, crossed our fingers, hoped for the best, dumped some I think 1540 and a quart of Lucas in it. Yeah, just because we were worried about oil pressure, which was why we think oil pressure was crappy to begin with. Started her up, and oil pressure was on the in between the R and the O, and that's basically where it's been ever since. And it's been running. So granted, we put it back in the truck, which yeah, it was real fun. I did it all by myself the second time, besides putting the motor in, because my brother was out doing stuff. And yeah, it's been in there since, and she's running. You know, knock on wood. Some wood somewhere. Should definitely knock on it. And like I said, this is all because to get this thing back into action for snow. And guess what? It didn't snow after that, or at least not enough to ever need a snowblade. Some flurries and stuff maybe. So anyway, that's a little story on that truck there, and why I have a love-hate relationship with it. And actually, the other thing I should mention, once I got that engine and stuff running, I went and test drove it, and when you get on it, the thing like floats in between gears, and not really sure what's going on there. The transmission apparently had been rebuilt, which didn't look like it had ever been touched, and if it was done by somebody in their garage. So I didn't really have high hopes for that transmission to begin with. But if it's the good transmission, it might be worth going through. I'm not a transmission person. I learned about them in school. You know, they always run everybody through how to rebuild them and stuff like that. They show you how to do it. You go through it, but it's no two transmissions. Yes, the two transmissions of the same model are the same, but we'll say a Chevy transmission, a Ford transmission, a Dodge transmission, they're all very different. I've never rebuilt one of those transmissions, so I'm not going to take it upon myself to do it, because there's a million little pieces in those things. You don't put one back in the right place, you drop something, you lose something. It's basically, you just screwed the whole thing up. And not to mention, you do need special tools to work on them. They have snap ring pliers and special band pliers and stuff you need to pull out the sun gears and all that. The clutches, the gears, I forget what all the... I used to remember all the technical names for all the pieces. I know there's the sun gears. There's you got your clutches, and I can't even remember a valve body. You know, of course, all that stuff. There's bands, there's clutches. That's all the stuff inside of a transmission. I had pulled one. I had pulled a. I rebuilt the one in my. I had a 1988 Z24 Cavalier. That's a 3T40 front-wheel drive transmission. I'd rebuilt that transmission when I was in Milford, and when I was in school for automotive, they let me rebuild that transmission for my car, and it went okay. Didn't do the best on the. They have a transmission dyno there. It was having a problem going in the lockup, and like I said, I had the teacher right there. We all going, I don't know, and we ended up putting a new solenoid on it, and it started working, which I had already put one on there, which was annoying. That was 2008, 9 era. You know, that was before we kept having all these parts issues, which seems to be a thing anymore. But anyway, the whole focus of this video, coming back full circle. I know this is a 3-part video now. I wasn't intending for this to be that long. It was mainly supposed to be about this John Deere 1977 John Deere 300 mower with a 48-inch deck, which I'm currently going to source another one, because the one that I have is in pretty rough shape. I should talk to the guy I'm getting it from, see if he happens to have a extra mule drive laying around. Maybe I can get one that ain't so beat up. This one looks like it was dropped down a flight of stairs. So anyway, gonna wrap this video up. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry these are so random and ranty. That's, I don't know, it's kind of my thing. I've been doing just trying to make random videos. This one I was just really happy to get this old gal back, and then just maybe I can finally use it for something. I was just so happy. It's a cool old mower. The one thing I didn't talk to you guys about on this mower before, and I know it's the first this is the third video, that was for the first video, but we're coming back full circle. This tractor mower has split brakes like a full-size tractor does, and it's super sketchy. I was driving around down there on the crushed rock, and I hit one of the brakes. The thing about flipped the mower over. It's like it went up on two wheels. It scared the crap out of me. I had to slow it down, and I was like, whoa, like that brake like works extremely well. The way I figured out you're supposed to do it, slow down. You don't do it at full speed. I didn't think it would be able to do that. And I will have to do something with the rear brakes on it, because this, I forget, right side brake isn't working. I think there's something going on with the drums, but it's a hydro. Maybe I won't even mess with it. The other thing I did find out, I got actually a pretty steep ditch going up to the road up there that I mow. Sucker can crawl the thing. I was like, whoa, that's impressive. Like, I got the hydro just barely off of the stop, or off the neutral position, and it's just going up it, like, doesn't even care. I'm like, I like this. Like, this has promise. I see some good things with this mower. I've never really tried it with that mower. The snapper mower, it's a decent mower too, but I don't know if it'll, well, I've never tried to creep it up there, I guess. I was always worried about stalling it out, because that one's sketchy when it dies, because the brakes don't do anything. It just rolls. The snapper mower, that one, I think it runs out of traction. I think I messed with that before. It'll run out of traction if you go too slow. It ends up spinning the back tires. I don't know, just the first wide of them sucker are. I mean, these are pretty wide tires on this mower here. Of course, here's the mower tires on the snapper mower. These aren't quite that wide. And here's the suckers on this mower. I mean, look at that. It's as wide as my hand. I mean, just for reference again. Not that these are, I mean, these are pretty wide too, don't get me wrong, but I think those ones on that snapper mower are probably about a ½ inch wider. And maybe it's just the tread, you know, like one's square, one's more round. These tires are more round on this John Deere mower. They don't have a square of a tread pattern. Those have more of a square tread on that Husqvarna mower. But the other thing is that the axle sits back farther on that Husqvarna mower. You got to watch it with the hitch on this trail mower. It'll bind up on that thing. I've actually had it pop off the ball hitch because I turned too sharp once, which I didn't think you could easily do that, but apparently it does. That does happen. This, like I said, this mower actually does a pretty good job. I hooked this trail mower up to it, and granted I got it straight because I don't have a deck on it. I figured, why do we need an angle if we don't have a deck on it? And it actually worked really good. I ran it out of gas, unfortunately. I was using it the most. I got some foxtail that grew up after I mowed, and I hadn't mowed it in a while. I'm like, we'll go knock down the foxtail. And there's, you know, I got a lot of weeds in my yard that keep growing, even though the grass is mostly gone dormant now. But anyway, just really stoked to have this mower back. I said it was just such a frustrating ordeal with it. I mean, it should not have been as hard as it was to fix. And maybe maybe it was just me just being dumb and not being a mower guy, or not a small engine guy. I might have overlooked it, but even the small engine guy that I took it to, he didn't ever think about it either. And he's worked on several. I mean, he's obviously, that mower's pretty old already, and maybe he was more familiar with them when they were newer, but that's been a while. It's 1977. I wasn't even born yet. He's more used to seeing mowers like that Husqvarna and like that orange one over there than or mowers like this vintage 2000s and 2000 era mowers and newer. That's what he's been messing with more recently. He's more familiar with those just because that's what he works on. You know, people update their mowers, and I'm the idiot that buys their old ones. So, not really an idiot. Sometimes I'm pretty smart about it. That snapper mower, actually, I think I made out like a bandit on that one. That sticks at $175 for a mower, trailer, a snow blade, and a set of cable change things, which those were kind of a wasted effort. But he threw them in for that price. They said the trailer alone I thought was worth at least $100. So anyway, keep saying this, but I think we're gonna wrap this one up this time. And guys, feel free to like and comment if you have something to say about it, or if you got some questions. Like I said, I'm new to the John Deere mower world. I don't know a lot about these mowers. A lot of people have told me stuff about them. I'm still figuring it out as I go. It's one of those things, people tell you about it, but you don't really retain it because you aren't currently dealing with it. Because I was asking people about hydraulics and stuff like that, and they were all just blowing your mind with all the stuff that you can do with them, or the stuff you can't do with them, and how to rebuild stuff. And, you know, it's like I said, I got that manual, and it's like 360 some pages of basically every single system on this mower. You can basically, every nut and bolt, screw and washer, it shows you, you know, how to rebuild everything. The hydrostat, the engine, the brake system, the differential, which is actually Dana differential, in case some of you guys were wondering. It actually uses drum brakes like a car on the back, except for their, instead of having a master cylinder or a slave cylinder, it uses a rod like a traditional, like, or old school stuff. It has a rod and a pivot point, and it actually pushes like this, and it pushes the shoe against the drum. So you don't have to worry about any hydraulic fluid or anything like that, or brake fluid leaking, which it's a pretty good idea. And honestly, if the only bad thing about it is, since it is an old mower now, if I ever do decide to fix the brakes on it, I will have to take the shoes to go get them relined, because I don't think you can get them anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. I never really looked into it, but some people that were talking about it on the Facebook group sound like they were having some issues, but maybe that's just where they were, or they weren't willing to buy the ones online, or I don't know. There might have been other issues that I wasn't aware of, or they didn't specify in their post about it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. I know a lot of you guys are just kind of passerbys and just kind of checking out stuff. Maybe you fell asleep in your recliner and this video just so happened to be on your auto playlist. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching it. Hopefully, we'll see. Like I said, if I do get that mower deck or something, maybe I'll shoot a video of it, and we'll see if, see how it works. The only thing I did notice, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if the mower revs up all the way. Maybe that's just how this mower is. I'm not entirely sure. To me, it doesn't seem like it revs up as high as my other mower does, but that might be the way that engine is. Maybe that's normal. But anyway, like I said, there's a potential. I might possibly get a snow blade for it. It said a hydraulic snow blade. The guy that has that deck might have a snow blade that he would sell me, but price would be a big determining factor. If he's willing to throw it in for, we'll say, $100 plus the price of the mower deck, I'd be a contender for it. If he's wanting more, I'd be like, I don't need one that bad. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Again, like, comment, subscribe, whatever, do all that thing. Click the bell if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.